Vampires come in different types, and those who drink blood are far from the worst of them. What about vampires who leave no marks on the neck, who can appear in daylight, who won't burn a stab with a stake of aspen, but who can really kill? Think 1,000 times before stopping on the street with strangers or not quite humans. This mystical story happened to me in the summer. That morning I woke up, had breakfast, and decided to go to the bookstore. The mood was great. I had just finished school and was going to go to college. With these thoughts, I walked to the bookstore, but I rushed a little. The store opens at 10 a.m., and I arrived at 9. I had a whole hour to spend somewhere, so I decided to go to the park. There I sat down on a bench and started enjoying the summer. After some time, an old woman appeared from the depths of the park, about 70 years old, dressed in a light skirt, a blouse with lace, and a hat with wide brims. The woman fed the pigeons, then came to me and sat down on the bench. One word led to another. We had something to talk about. I also really love animals, but can't keep them due to allergies. The old woman turned out to be very talkative and smiling. She offered me some candies, which I politely refused. Glancing at my watch, I saw that the store would open in 5 minutes. I said goodbye to the old woman and got up to leave. At that moment, this sweet old woman touched my left hand with her right hand. At that very moment, it felt like a rod was pulled out of me. My legs became limp, my head spun. Complete apathy and absolute lack of strength set in. I couldn't even take a step. Looking at the old woman, I saw that her smile was more like a snarl. She stared intently at me, and I felt worse. I realized what was going on. From my grandmother in childhood, I heard about such people. My grandmother called them witches, and she was wrong. These are not sorcerers or witches, they are vampires. All prayers were simply knocked out of my head, and the old woman continued to look at me. And her gaze just nailed me in place, depriving me of will and resistance. All I could squeeze out of myself was, "You?" I couldn't say another word. My tongue was tied. "You're smart. You figured it out correctly," the old vampire woman said. With tremendous effort of will, I forced myself to take a step, then another, then another. That's how I slowly left the park. Sitting near the store for about 2 hours, I felt better. Deciding to go home, I got on a bus and left. As soon as the bus crossed the first intersection, I felt a surge of strength. The story does not end there. This year, I met that old woman again in the same park. She didn't notice me, and I looked at her for about 10 minutes. And you know what? She didn't just age, she even got younger. I couldn't be mistaken. I remembered her face too well. From a little girl's diary. Day 1. Mom is in the hospital now because she is going to have a baby. I want to make her something yummy. Day 2. Today, I made Mom a meat and vegetable soup. It was hard, but I made it with love. I went to the hospital and gave it to Mom. Mom was very happy and said I'm a good girl. I asked if the baby in her tummy will eat the soup too. Mom said, yes, when she grows up. I wish my little sister could try my soup. Day 3. Mom came home from the hospital with my sister. Her name is Mary, and she's very pretty. I wanted to play with Mary, but Mom wouldn't let me near her. She told me to go to my room. I felt very sad. Day 4. Today, Dad came home from work early, and I wanted to play with him. But he was playing with Mary. He told me to go play in my room, and I felt very sad. Day 5. Grandma and Grandpa came to visit today. I was happy because Grandma and Grandpa always play with me. I asked Grandma to read me a book, but she told me to go to my room. Everyone was fussing over Mary. They spent all their free time with my little sister. Mom said Mary is so pretty, I could just eat her up. Dad said you're right, me too. Day 6. Today, I made the meat and veggie soup for my parents. The veggies were easy to chop, but the meat was very hard to cut into pieces. After dinner, my parents started wandering the house, calling out, "Mary, Mary." My parents were looking for my sister everywhere. "Have you seen her? She's so pretty. Everyone wants to eat her up."